Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and hi. So today we are going to review this book called The Art of Thinking Clearly by Rolf W. So before we go further, I'm going to give you a few tips or tutorials and on how to actually read a book. So number one, let's set a goal. Why we need to set a goal? Because you need to decide what you want to achieve from reading a book, whether it is just for knowledge, whether it is for relaxations, finding some inspirations, and also you need to set a goal to help keep you focused and motivated. Number two, to create a reading habits. So dedicate a specific time each day for reading, even if it's just as simple as 10 to 15 minutes time. So consistency is the key to build a strong reading habit. And tips number three, take some notes or highlight the key points. So if you ask me, I would really like to actually jot down some interesting ideas or underline the keywords, key sentences. So this not only helps you to retain information, but also make it easier for you to revisit important sections in the book later. That's it. So let's go into reviewing the book, The Art of Thinking Clearly by Rolf W. Now let's get into the main topic, which is book review. So today I'm going to review a book, The Art of Thinking Clearly by Rolf W. So I'm going to give you the three best key takeaways that I get from this book. First one is cognitive biases. So, in the book of The Art of Thinking Clearly, so cognitive biases are explained as mental shortcuts or patterns of thinking that can lead us to make mistakes in judgment or decisions. So, how to explain it to you? Imagine your brain is like a superhero trying to save time and energy. So instead of carefully thinking through every problem, it uses quick tricks to make decisions. So sometimes this trick works, but other times they make the superhero trip and fall. So this is what cognitive biases are. They are the little oopsies in our brain that makes our brain because it tries to take shortcuts. For example, confirmation bias. Your brain likes to agree with itself, so it looks for things that prove it is right and ignores things that might prove it wrong. And we have availability bias, where your brain thinks what is the easiest to remember is the most important, even if it's not. So, cognitive biases are like brain shortcuts that can sometimes lead us in the wrong directions. Number two, the sunk cost fallacy. So it is actually when you keep on doing something or staying committed to it just because you have already invested time, money, or effort, even if it is not worth it anymore. So let's imagine this. You are watching a boring movie, but because you already paid for the tickets, you force yourself to sit through it, even though you'd rather do something else. So the money is already spent, a sunk cost, but you feel like you would waste it if you left. So in reality, continuing to suffer doesn't get your money back. It is actually better to cut your losses and move on to something more enjoyable or productive. But yeah, the fallacy happens because our brain actually hates wasting things even when sticking to them isn't logical anymore. So that is the sunk cost fallacy. And the third one, focus on long term thinking. So, focusing on long term thinking means making decisions today that benefit you in the future rather than just going for quick wins or instant gratifications. So, imagine it's like planting a seed now to grow a tree later. You might not see the results immediately, but the future rewards are worth it. So here's how you practice it. First one, set the big goals. Think about where you want to be in 5, 10, or even 20 years in future. and let those goals guide your action today. For example, like saving for education or home instead of spending on unnecessary items. Uh, Other than that, we have delay gratifications where you learn to wait for bigger rewards instead of taking smaller short-term pleasures. For example, like investing in skill today that will lead to a better career tomorrow. And then we have considered the consequences, which is before making decisions. So you should ask yourself how they will actually affect your future. For example, will this choice help or hurt my long-term health, finances, or even happiness? So by focusing on long-term thinking, you can actually align your present actions with a better and more secure future. So that's all for today's tutorial and tips on how to read the books, and also three key takeaways that I can give you by reviewing the book of The Art of Thinking Clearly by Rolf W. So credit to the author of this book, and also credit to Mr. Josh Ryan from the Nova for the materials. Thank you.